I'm a cheap slut, you know. Right, today I want to talk about something a little more unusual, something that's become apparent if you watch some of my videos. I may be slightly bursty. Now, this is a video mainly for just an observation, more for trans women, non-binary people, women that have had mastectomies, and actors who want to, how shall we say, the pantomime dame type. And that is fake boobs. Now, you can see I am wearing fake boobs. These are a breastplate, and they have their advantages and they have their disadvantages. Let me just demonstrate something for you first, just to show you what they look like. I am wearing a bra. Bra. So you can see the breastplate starts up here and goes down to there. That's what it looks like at the back. And it's got a number of advantages. It's very easy to wear. It's very firm. It's actually quite restrictive. I like that it's quite restrictive. Other people don't. I like the fact that it feels okay on me. Like it's not going to fall off. Things if you bend down, they're not going to jiggle, not going to fall out. The trouble I have with these inserts is that if you don't have a really tight t-shirt on or a really tight bra, they have a tendency to fall out. That's really not what you want when you're bending down in a supermarket. And it goes bouncing all the way down the aisle. Not good. So they fit really well, and I find them quite comfortable, and they don't jiggle and they don't move around, and they're quite firm to the touch. You know, squish, 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 and you know they're okay. When you're wearing them, you can tell you're wearing them. They also, you can get them in different shades of skin colour. I've got one of the lightest because I'm Celtic and you know the sun burns me if it's out for 10 minutes. But you can get them in different shades, going down to sort of quite black. So hopefully there's something that's matching close to what you are. You can buy them on, I mean, I bought this on Amazon for like 40 quid, 50 quid. The ones you can get from a proper, like a trans website that sells all manner of things, it's going for about sort of £200, but they look exactly the same. So I'm just going for the ones on Amazon because they're cheap, and I'm cheap because I'm a cheap slut, you know. So that's that. There are, however, a number of disadvantages. One of them you can probably see right now, which is if you compare these to normal, like natural breasts, they're very rounded. They're very sort of, they stick out. They're a bit like, they're not like sort of mountains. They're more like domes, and that's not that natural a look. The other problems with them, I mean, one of the issues that I have with them is that they're not really, not only are they domes, but they're not also not quite in the right place. They're a one size fits all essentially. So depending on your body type, they're not necessarily going to be in the right place. They're silicone, so they're elastic, so they stretch. But if you compare where these are to where your breasts actually are, there's often it's not quite right, not quite in the right place, and that kind of makes it look slightly unnatural. Also, these are C cups. This is a C cup. C cup my bottom. If you're not looking for sort of oversized pantomime dame look, I'd size down just in case. I have never tried anything other than a C cup because C cups suit me normally, but I imagine, I would hope that the B cup is small. You can get these in like sort of G cup. It's like who is going to? No. Because they're silicone and because they're elastic, one of the problems with them is putting them on and taking them off. I'm not going to demonstrate that because nobody needs to see a video of me wandering around like a headless chicken for 3 minutes trying to get the thing off. Just be aware that it is a bit, it takes a lot of effort, especially if you've got long hair, the hair gets caught in it. I would recommend putting it in a a ponytail before you take it off and put it on. And also talcum powder. Talcum powder is really, really useful for this because I don't understand the science, I don't understand the physics, but talcum powder, if you put it on both the inside of the breast form and on your body, it provides a bit of friction and makes it easier to roll down, because basically the issue you've got is that it gets stuck up here and it's really hard to roll down here and here, especially when taking it off. Another problem with it in the way it's formed is, you can see I'm wearing a choker. The reason for that is going to become apparent. I think the choker takes your eye off the fact that it goes all the way up there. And it looks really weird and it feels really weird. There is fake veins on it to sort of represent the neck, but I just find it uncomfortable. That slight bit of it is uncomfortable. It's also, that makes it also equally really hard to take on and off. So I wear the chokers just distract from the neck, because it is at this point kind of obvious that I'm wearing a breast form. Wear a polar neck or a scarf if you're a bit, you know, conscious about it. You can theoretically roll it down, but then it just becomes uncomfortable. And this leads to another problem. This gets very hot. It's very sweaty, no matter what the weather is. After you've been wearing it for a couple of hours, you really feel the dampness, you really feel the sweat. Now, as I say, it's very easy to wash, it's very easy to clean because it's silicone, but that still doesn't make it less uncomfortable when you're wearing it for long periods of time. I mean, even now, I've only been wearing this for like an hour and a bit, but I went out for a bit walk earlier and I can feel it starting to sweat underneath there. Also makes it smell not very pleasant. And the final issue that I've got with this thing is, be careful when you're taking it on and taking it off. Because it is silicone and because it is stretchy, it is very easy to overstretch it and snap it. It's not very, I'm going to say it's not very well made. That's not quite what I mean. I mean, it isn't very well made because it's 50 quid from Amazon. But what I mean is, the silicone is quite thin, so when it stretches, it can snap. And the trouble with silicone is that when it snaps, it's very hard to repair. It is. I had my previous pair actually snapped because I pulled it when I took it off too much. And I had a word with a craft store in Manchester, and they basically said, yeah, you can get silicone glue, it costs about 40 quid. This thing only costs 50 quid. So it is, if you snap it, it's just cheaper to buy a new one, which is not good for anyone, not good for the environment, not good for, you know, ethics, but that's just the way it is. But they are very easy to snap, so be very careful when you're taking it on and taking it off, because it does stretch a lot. Again, another reason why you would use talcum powder. Apart from that, obviously you've got this bit, which is kind of ugly, but normally you're going to be wearing a t-shirt over the top of it most of the time anyway, so that's not going to be so much of a problem. So yes, that's basically all I've got to say about this breast form. I like it. It works for me, but it could be a lot better. It could be a lot more. If you could make them to fit, that would be cool. And if you could make it from a better material, that would be cool. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about it. Let me know if you've ever used one or if you've got an alternative. And I'll see you again sometime. Bye for now.